Salut les amis, bienvenue pour un nouvel épisode de Retour vers le futur et bienvenue en 1931. Nous sommes donc à la recherche du ancien doc qui est là j'ai dit. Et basiquement, on doit le faire regarder Frankenstein, sachant qu'il est en date avec Edna. Rien que ça. Donc bon, allons voir Emmett, sachant que pour lui, genre, on apparaît, disparaît tous les 6 mois. Donc il doit se dire, c'est une paire. À Washington, en 86. Dans la... Miao.
Oh, you know, here and there, you're a little hard to pin down yourself. I went looking for you last night, but...
I believe I was off entertaining a beautiful lady. You know, I never really got a chance to thank you.
Well, I'm sure you would have escaped Kid on your own.
Kid? Oh, sure, I'm grateful for that, but no, I'm talking about Edna. It's funny to think of now, but until that crisis, I actually thought Edna and I disliked one another. Imagine!
Faire confiance à cette première impression, les filles, c'est pas tout, oubliez Edna.
Yeah, well, sometimes first impressions are right. The thing is, you shouldn't let Edna distract you from, you know, the business at hand. Finishing your project for the expo and going to see Frankenstein.
Oh, pshaw. I'm far too busy for movies these days.
But,
and as for my project, it's practically done.
The rocket car?
The rocket car? Boy, are you out of date. I've junked the rocket car. But more trouble than it's worth. I'll never figure out a propulsion system that does what I want it to do. And besides, its social utility is practically non-existent.
Ça veut rien dire. Bah oui, l'utilité sociale, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Quoi? Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette merde? C'est votre premier rendez-vous, ça ne fait qu'une journée. Je sens la merde arriver.
Opening day of the expo, which reminds me, I'd better skedaddle back to the lab. If Edna catches me dawdling, there'll be heck to pay.
Ah shit.
Around, Corleone.
October 12th. Doc.
Voilà, oh ça pue. Oh cette histoire elle pue.
Come to think of it, it is a bit brisk for August.
Oh, we're 2 months late. The expo's about to start and teenage you is already in over his head with Edna.
Aïe.
Always did have a tendency to plunge into things.
Let's plunge into the DeLorean and get to the right date.
No, it's far too risky. Remember how I was late picking you up in 86?
Ouais, ça sera de pire en pire, c'est ça.
Something is horribly wrong with the time circuits, and the problem appears to be getting worse. If we try to jump now, we could find ourselves...
Ouais, pour revenir en 86, ce serait une horrible.
Oh, worse. The Mesozoic.
Then we're stuck?
For the time being. I'll look into the problem and see what I can do. In the meantime, you can go to work on the other problem.
Right. I'll go to the lab and see if I can talk teenage you out of...
Impossible. If young me is already as infatuated as you say, you're not going to be able to talk him out of anything. Believe me, I
Edna.
Better to focus on a more clear-headed habit.
Aïe.
Edna, where can I find
Ouais.
Where do you think? I'll drive. The DeLorean should still function adequately as a means of conveyance in the first 3 dimensions.
Ah bah oui, je pense que la DeLorean c'est comme une voiture, ça devrait fonctionner. Après, arriver là-bas avec une DeLorean, ce serait un peu bizarre. Enfin bon. Ah ouais, ce bon vieux, ce beau vieux Arthur. Vieux Arthur, son bon vieux Arthur. Il y a les mafieux qui sont là aussi. Ah, c'est Edna, d'accord.
Do I really have to talk to her? I mean, couldn't I just hang out until you fix the time circuits and... I'll talk to her.
J'aime bien le oh.
Better get the DeLorean out of sight before someone...
Hey, you! Quit blocking the drive! All car of the future contestants need to report to the North Tent!
Et bah parfait.
Good luck.
Si ça c'est pas beau. Il valait du futur. Edna, je dois vous parler. Ne vous mariez pas.
Spell it B-R-O-W-N. It's not exactly an obscure name.
I still don't see it on the list. I'm sorry.
On revoit Arthur après l'agent dormant.
This is the Hill Valley Science Expo, right?
First annual.
Indeed. The purpose of our fair is to showcase cutting-edge technology.
That's right. And to burnish Hill Valley's reputation as a forward-thinking community.
And yet, you want to exclude the maker of the most revolutionary breakthrough of all.
It's not that I want to, but... oh, dear.
Mr. Corleone!
Bonjour.
Do pop up at the oddest times. What are you doing here?
Que vous faites-vous ici? Je vous fais rompre. J'empêche un futur terrible d'arriver. Je déjoue vos complots insensés. Aucune bonne réponse n'est bonne. Je vous fais rompre et mettez-toi.
Whatever it is, I hope you don't
Ah.
have to deal with Mr. Stonewall here. His sole function seems to be preventing people from accomplishing their business. Honestly, with him keeping the books, it's a wonder the Tannen gang got as far as they did. Have you seen
C'est
Emmett?
pas sympa.
Oh, then you've heard all about his big breakthrough, the mental alignment meter. Isn't it exciting? And to think, he didn't even realize the import of his discovery until I pointed it out to him. I've never known anyone like him, so oblivious to his own potential.
I kind of wanted to talk
Super.
to you about Emmett.
Actually, I didn't spot it myself at first. In fact, for the longest time, I thought I didn't even like him.
Yeah.
Ouais, on a la même réaction. Première impression est souvent la bonne. On lui dit la même chose.
Gut instincts are important. If you disliked him right off the bat.
Oh, but I didn't know him then. Now I know him inside and out.
Oula.
Yeah, but
I appreciate
Oula, oula,
what
wow,
you're
wow, 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 wow.
Leon, but
Doucement.
I can take care of myself. I know what I'm looking for in a man, and it so happens Emmett fits the bill to a...
Pas convaincu.
That's Emmett Brown. Rhymes with clown, which I'm beginning
En anglais,
to
ça
think
met
you
clown.
are.
just a simple mix-up, I'm
En français
sure.
aussi.
I've no doubt of that.
Emmett Brown, clown. Ah oui, clown. C'est vrai qu'en français, on dit pas clown, on dit clown. It's a clown. C'est une ouverture.
Officer.
Officer,
Right. Don't blow your
Mais t'es
cover.
con, Arthur.
will you please keep your mind
Ah,
on
ça
what
va, elle est
lies
pas allée plus
ahead?
loin.
Can't talk right now.
Ouais, t'as affaire. Bon. Un type. Ouais, mais le type, moi je m'en fous un peu. Hein. Un peu. La rue.
The
D'accord.
Brown place is on Riverside
La
Drive.
place Brown est
Way
dans
too far to
Riverside.
go on foot. I wonder how Doc's coming with the DeLorean.
Ok, je me demande comment Doc s'en sort avec la DeLorean. C'est une invitation à aller voir Doc. Allons dans le camion. Hello.
It's not as nice as my truck back in 86. Jeez, I hope I still have a truck back in 86.
Y'a personne? Parce que si c'est juste ça, moi je le prends. Bah apparemment oui. Bon, je vais voir le type puis on va voir Doc. Bonjour monsieur.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
When is
Yeah.
the expo
Not till
open?
tonight. Anybody without official business here, please get off the grounds.
Tu es étrange.
You got official business here?
Yeah.
Ouais, je suis parti du jury.
Well, stay out of the way of the workers.
Ah merde.
You look familiar. Do I know you?
Nope. Doc's
Est-ce que
right.
je vous connais?
If we
On
want
l'a
to
croisé dans le
open
chapitre
it
2.
up,
Hein.
we'd better approach it from Edna's side of the relationship.
Ouais. J'aime bien lui rester assis dans la voiture.
Well,
I talked to her.
and?
She says she knows what she's looking for, and it's you.
Ah merde.
But it can't be me. Wasn't me. Marty, we don't belong together.
You don't have to tell me that.
Find out exactly what her requirements are. I can almost guarantee you that I don't fit them.
Ouais, mais... Je fais quoi? Si tu veux séparer Edna et Emmett, il faudrait parler à Edna. Edna s'en occupait mais persévère. Parle à Edna jusqu'à ce que tu saches pourquoi elle aime Emmett. Ah ouais, donc faut juste être relou quoi, super.
You said that Emmett fits your bill of requirements for a man.
Yes.
What would that list be exactly?
You are
Uh-huh.
a reporter, Mr. Corleone, you know that? Well, his physical
Bah
appearance
oui,
for
le
one
harcèlement
thing.
fait bien partie des
Emmett may
reporters,
not be
d'accord.
Clark Gable, but he cleans up surprisingly well. I gave him my grandfather's
Oh,
white
le costume
suit
blanc de son
to wear
grand-père.
at the expo. Oh, you should see him in it. He looks positively radiant.
Looks good in a suit.
Son grand-père fait assez...
And
il est
he's
pas très grand.
completely devoted to me. That's important. I've got no time or tolerance for play.
Ouais, faut le faire tromper.
Faithful as a Labrador. Check.
Thirdly, and most important,
Yes?
well, his mind, of course. It's brilliant, and it's virtuous through and through. His own mind map shows him to be a model citizen.
D'accord.
Good
Ouais, il
brain,
faut
I
l'analyser
see.
en
And
criminel.
it turned
Non.
out that you were mistaken about any of these qualities.
Say, what's your game?
Just curious, just trying to understand the female
Ah.
mind.
Les mystères de l'esprit
Understand
féminin.
this. I'm not some faint-hearted girl who'd run away at the first hint of trouble. I've made a big investment in
J'ai beaucoup
Emmett.
investi en Emmett.
Not money,
C'est
but
ça
some
qui est
call
horrible
my
dans le personnage
ambitions.
d'Edna, c'est vraiment
I'd have to be thoroughly
l'objectification
disillusioned
d'Emmett.
before I'd call it quits with Emmett. Got it?
Uh-huh.
Now, Mr. Cub Reporter, is there anything else?
Rather
Emmett
hard
est un
for me
amant-
to
est un
picture
aimant à
Emmett
fille.
as a chick magnet.
Chick magnet.
A guy who gets the girls, you know, motors running.
Motors?
Who makes them...
Oh, je comprends pas ce que c'est un Playboy.
Chic?
Yeah.
Well, it's a matter of taste, I suppose, but when he's properly pomaded and decked out in my grandfather's white suit, Emmett just glows. Makes my heart
Ouais,
beat just to picture him.
je suis pas sûr. Un aimant. D'ailleurs, moi j'ai compris un amant. Non, 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 un aimant.
You say you know Emmett is a model citizen, but you don't know him as well as I do. Did you know he once cheated some Libyans out of plutonium?
Plutonium?
Elle sait même pas ce que c'est du.
Libyans want with plutonium. I'm sure he had a very
Alors,
good reason. Emmett's mind map demonstrates
le
conclusively
plutonium, je sais pas
Britain's
s'ils savent déjà ce que c'est.
virtue.
La Libye n'existe pas encore. Donc, il a volé un train.
This one time, to power one of his science experiments, Emmett hijacked a train.
Please, there hasn't been a train hijacking in Hill Valley since the days
Talen le
of Mad Dog
molosse.
Cannon.
Le molosse de lave. Mon adjoint, mon prof, c'est pas l'adjoint, je le déteste.
This time. My vice principal warned me to stay away from him.
Your vice
Et t'as quel
principal
âge?
sounds like a dolt.
So you say Emmett only has eyes for you?
Absolutely. It's almost embarrassing how devoted he is to me.
Ah,
It's good to hear he's finally settling down.
Yes. Settling down?
You know, ready to stop
Oui.
playing the field, as it were.
qui arrête de batifoler.
Playing the... Oh, you're joking.
Peut-être. C'est un bro de cœur.
I'm feeling sorry for him.
Who?
All of Emmett's other girls, now that he's with you.
Ah, t'es un enfoiré,
I
Marty.
think I know Emmett by now. There are no other girls.
Ah, Neymar est en train de célébrer. Je pense que le PSG a dû égaliser face à Monaco. J'ai pas vu le but. Juste, je me permets. D'accord, il a marqué sur penalty. C'est le meilleur tireur de penalty au monde. Il est très bien tiré. C'est magnifique.
I wonder what's gonna happen to Emmett's
Le
little
petit livre noir, je sais même pas ce que c'est.
Little black book?
Oh, it's legendary. That's what enabled Emmett to become the
Ah,
Valentino of Hill Valley High. Gee, I wonder if he'd let me have it.
You must think I'm pretty gullible, Mr. Corleone.
c'est grand lion. C'est quoi un linéospiritomètre?
Heck is this mental alignment meter of Emmett's?
Oh, it's an absolutely revolutionary invention.
Les penchants sociaux. Ah bah, on est vraiment dans le social avec elle, dis donc.
What he's attracted to, what he's repulsed by, that sort of thing.
Interesting. And it really works?
Non,
Of
non.
course. What's the point of inventing something that doesn't work? Or
Ahem.
anyway, it works well enough for my purposes.
That's all the questions I got.
C'est étrange, mais pourquoi pas, c'est Nina Strickland. Bonjour madame.
Hey, Audie. You seen my Orioli?
You mean this?
Yeah, thanks.
C'est trop stylé.
She gets to come and go freely, and I'm forced to wait. I love it.
On se calme, Suzanne. Trixie, voilà, j'ai oublié ton nom.
To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who approach these
Petit
hallowed
gars.
halls, I bid
Ah, salut mec.
to all who...
Bonjour
Oh, hiya,
madame.
kid. Say, aren't you the fellow who...
Got you to turn on Kid Tannen? You bet.
You look younger without your mustache. That was a dirty trick, you know, making me think Kid had gone and iced Audie.
I'm sorry, but it's
C'est
the
vrai.
only way I could...
Forget about it. I'm trying to. Yesterday's in the past. That's my motto. You gotta live for today.
Oui.
So what are you doing down here anyway? Do you wish to pull the levers that control the future? At the expo, silly.
Oui,
Tomorrow.
le levier.
Oh, yeah, that's actually why I'm here.
Oui, le levier.
So,
Qu'est-ce que
who
vous
are you
faites?
supposed to be?
Don't you know your Homer? I am Techni Muse of Progress. You can tell by the lightning bolts.
Must have slept through that
D'accord.
class.
I'm supposed to be a goddess like. I'm the one who inspires all the great men who make the discoveries. And women too. Leave us not forget
C'est vrai que Marie Curie est déjà... Enfin, les travaux sur la radioactivité ont déjà été faits en 31. Oui, je suis con. Ils savent que c'est le plutonium. Bon, après, je pense pas qu'ils savent exactement ce que c'est le plutonium. Je pense qu'ils ont dû en entendre parler.
Techni, Muse of Progress. Not a bad gig.
Audie got it for me. It's my entree into respectability.
Listen, I've got a proposal for you. I have this friend, right?
No dice. I'm only seeing Audie now.
It's not like that.
Oh, c'est
See,
mignon.
My friend's in a relationship with Edna Strickland.
Oh, poor schmuck. I wouldn't wish her on anyone.
On dirait, elle parle d'un meurtre.
He won't
Putain,
listen to reason,
je veux
though.
vraiment pas que ça lui arrive.
Call it off if she thought he and you were, you know.
Ah, you are an evil imp, ain't ya?
Sometimes a guy's got to resort to underhanded tricks.
Je suis en train de repenser à un truc parce que je suis allé... Bah, j'ai fini le jeu, donc...
Edna might be a pill, but if
Voilà.
I play dirty tricks on every dame who disapproves of me, well, I'd play a lot of dirty tricks. Besides,
Ouais.
such stunts are beneath the dignity of Techni, Muse of Progress.
Look, my friend Emmett really needs help.
The one who's going out with Edna Strickland? You're darn right he needs help.
I'm not asking you to actually seduce him. Just make her think that you two have a thing going. It'll drive her crazy.
I guess it would.
So,
I wouldn't do that to another girl unless I was good and mad at her. And besides, it might tone
C'est vrai que c'est pas ouf.
Muse.
Elle drague Arthur!
so
Non,
Artie's
ça
looking
fonctionnerait
pretty
pas.
expo too, huh?
Oh, Artie's doing swell. The papers made a big deal of him testifying against Kid. People have been beating down his door ever since the trial.
J'aime bien, son Arthur est en pleine forme.
What's
Qu'est-ce qu'il fait là?
Artie's job?
Bah, il bosse.
Oh, he's a real high muckety muck at the expo. He's in charge of
Toute
all
la
the money
trésorerie.
and the hiring and firing.
Hey, not bad.
You're telling me, and super respectable too. It's a real relief for him to have a job where the boss never pulls a gun on him.
Bah, tant mieux.
It's good to see that you and Artie are both doing okay.
We're
Ça fait
more
plaisir.
than okay.
En vrai, ça
If
fait
things
plaisir.
keep going the way they're going, we may be more than just friends.
Mais t'avais dit tout à
Who
l'heure que t'étais
knows?
avec.
Well, don't get too serious too fast.
Nah, we're keeping things casual for now.
Good. I'm sure Grandma will appreciate that.
Comment va
How's the
Kid?
trial going?
Slowly. You know what they say. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but infinitely fine.
No.
Except in Hill Valley, where they don't move at all. Nothing. It's just, you know, something I heard once.
Ouais, hein.
It's about turning him in.
None at all. I should have known better than to take up with him in the first place. But what can I say?
C'est le fameux charme
Let
de...
myself get taken in by his charm.
Charm.
de Bill.
Whose idea was it to put a science and technology expo in Hill Valley?
Edna.
Beats me. Audie says it's all bred in circuses. But I ain't
La
seen
poudre
a
aux
single
yeux.
clown yet
Ouais,
today.
c'est...
See you, Trixie.
From this chamber of wonders, we bid you a fond adieu.
Alors, je reviens d'ici quelques secondes. Regardez bien, maintenant. Me revoilà. Alors, j'étais parti manger. Voilà, j'avais très très faim. Et bon, j'aurais peut-être pu tenir encore une dizaine de minutes. Mais bon, j'avais vraiment faim. J'ai terminé. J'ai fait tomber ma manette. J'ai mangé du coup la fin de mon wrap de ce midi. Une fin de sandwich
I'm only gonna get Trixie angry at Edna.
et 3-4 beignets frits. C'est excellent. Voilà, ce sont des genres de repas que j'aime. Tu manges 3 plats différents et t'es content à la fin. Si ça, c'est pas bon. Alors du coup, Trixie ne t'aidera pas à rendre Edna jalouse si Edna ne lui donne aucune raison de le faire. Peut-être que si tu parles à Edna de Trixie, la méchanceté naturelle d'Edna pourrait se focaliser vers une direction productive. J'aurais pas trouvé tout seul, genre...
Again, Mr. Corleone? What
Moi,
can
les
I do?
gossips, les trucs comme ça, c'est pas mon truc du tout. J'ai parlé à Trixie. Elle a dit que t'étais une énorme... Non. Non.
I found
Quand
out
même.
about Trixie.
Quand même.
Yes?
Apparently they made her some sort of queen of the festival. Techne, the muse of progress.
They didn't. Well, they said this expo would give Hill Valley a reputation. I didn't realize
Oh.
this is what they meant.
What have you got against Trixie?
La commère.
It's the idea of it. Allowing our city to be represented by a woman like that. I will
Elle a le
stand
droit de
for
faire
it.
ce que
As
je
a
veux.
socially
Enfin, de faire
conscious
ce qu'elle veut, en
citizen,
tout cas.
I demand you discharge that
Non, TG, TG.
muse.
Oh, c'est en train de se fight.
Trixie? What's wrong with her?
Et c'est son mec.
Slightly qualified for an honorific post at a public event.
Bah, c'est ça.
Lady, she fits the costume, she's an American citizen, and she managed to memorize all her lines. What more qualifications do you want?
Oh, je sens la dinguerie. Oh, je sens l'enquête.
People are impossible.
Why do you want
Pourquoi tu veux la faire virer? Ça n'a aucun sens.
One simply can't allow women like that to attain positions of respect in society. It creates a very
De telle femme, elle est des activités respectables.
Does
Ça
it?
n'a aucun sens.
Try telling it to this poor sap. She's got him completely steamrolled. That's how they operate. Still, get her discharged if I had the goods on her. No doubt a woman like that has left a trail of scandal, and I'd find it if I were still a reporter. But I
Ah,
haven't had
t'es
time
plus
to do
reporter.
the legwork now. I'm too busy with Emmett and our
Mais je
his
comprends pas. T'es
invention.
plus reporter, mais tu es quoi exactement?
So you wouldn't hesitate to get Trixie fired from her job?
If I had the goods on her. She's obviously got her employer completely bamboozled. The only way
Oula.
to snap him out of his spell would be to show him something really shocking.
That's all the questions
On
I
se trouve
got.
des preuves contre Trixie, hein. Allez. Gossip Simulator.
You got any questions for me?
No.
Then kindly let me pass.
I am afraid I can't until I've located your registration form.
Oh, this is absurd.
On va passer une demi-heure sur. Mais je le trouve pas. Salut Q-Ball.
Pal,
Oh, geez, this guy again.
funny, I was gonna say the same thing. Shouldn't you be
Tu
in
devrais
jail
pas être en
with the rest of
prison.
the kids' gang?
I was, but then an opportunity availed itself and I
Sang like a canary.
prefer
Oh.
to think of it as exhibiting an admirable sense of self-preservation.
Oh, le salaud.
Will you be playing piano for Trixie later?
Nah,
Why not?
Ah.
cause little Miss Goody Two-Shoes thinks she's too respectable for
La
kids
belle.
these days.
La belle.
You
Elle est
seem
en
kinda
colère
angry
contre
about
Trixie.
Trixie.
Angry. Listen, kid, me and Trixie go way back. I know stuff about her that even kid doesn't know. Stuff that curl your socks.
Really?
Oh,
Oh,
sax.
yeah.
Mmh.
See her flouncing around the place, making like her stink don't smell. It just, well, it just cheeses me off. You
Ah,
know?
je peux que te comprendre, mon vieux.
So
Mais qu'est-ce qu'elle a
what's
fait de
so,
stérine?
toe curling about Trixie's past?
Yeah, like I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, come on.
No.
Tell you
Ah,
what.
TG alors.
Tell you something embarrassing about me first.
N'a aucun intérêt.
What?
J'ai détourné un train.
Last year, I drove a train off a cliff.
Why'd you do that?
You know, now that I think about it, I'm not really sure. It's a long story.
All right, Junior, you win. That was pretty embarrassing. Almost as embarrassing as this.
Ah, ça fonctionne en plus.
Is that
Oh.
Trixie?
Yep.
She's not wearing much.
Bah,
No
après, c'est
kidding.
son droit, hein.
She did a lot of these artistic postcards a few years ago. I got a whole set of them.
Can I have one?
I don't know. You ain't gonna do nothing bad with it, are you?
I
Bah,
promise.
vous m'en mieux
I'll
pas.
use it for the greater good.
Well, okay.
Tu es étrangement gentil avec moi. Parlez toujours à Kid.
Lately,
Bah non.
We're not exactly on speaking terms these days on account of our varying degrees of incarceration.
Tu m'étonnes.
what kind of stuff have they got you hauling here?
À ton avis?
What I know, electro this, robo that, dynamo the other, it's all Greek to me.
Hey, what's with your teeth?
My teeth?
Yeah, they're green.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hang loose, pal.
You talk funny, mister.
Elle est en vert. Hein. C'est un scroll. Si je vais donner la carte postale à Enna. Ah, je vais faire le fouteur de merde.
Why in the world would I be interested in... Oh, what have we here? Oh, sir, Mr. McFly! It appears your muse has been inspiring more than progress.
Au secours.
Trixie? Oh, no, no, no. What are you doing with a dirty postcard?
What is she doing in a dirty postcard?
Ouais.
I swear, Mr. McFly, if
Ah, les deux
this
questions se posent.
Trixie Trotter is unfit to represent Hill
I don't
Valley.
need you to lecture me about who I can or can't hire, Miss Strickland. Trixie's daughter.
Alors là, le truc en fait, c'est que les deux ont tort dans le sens où elle fait ce qu'elle veut.
Winsome wench of Winnipeg. Her past doesn't matter to Trixie.
Buddy?
You know I don't like to pry, but what state did you grow up in?
Province, Manitoba. Why?
Not even an American.
Ah merde, elle est canadienne.
The charter specifically states that the expo's hostess must be
Oh non, elle est canadienne.
So,
Oh,
if you're really a
oh merde.
I'm being fired? You are firing me?
I don't
Bah, du coup, oui.
want to.
Here, take it back.
Well, I'm glad somebody's listening to reason.
Mais mets-lui une tarte.
Let's talk.
Avec les cheveux comme ça. Partons. Ou parlons. Je sais pas ce qu'elle a dit. Hello.
Trixie?
I'll do it. I'll make that blue-nosed bitty eat her heart out.
Ouais.
Planned out. When Emmett shows
You
up.
gotta do it my way.
Huh?
Ah.
I'm no good with improvising, and I ain't gonna memorize no lines. But I was in this play once.
L'improvisation, c'est pas mon truc, y a pas question d'apprendre un texte.
Predicament. I figure I could lift a scene from that.
Okay.
Only, I need a few props.
Why am I not surprised?
Some furs, a big diamond. It doesn't have to be real, understand?
That makes it easier.
And something from this friend of yours, Emmett. Has he got a photo album?
I don't know. Probably.
Better bring it to me.
Furs.
Bring
diamond,
it to
and Emmett's
me.
photo album. And then?
Sit back and watch the fur fly.
Alors du coup, une fourrure, un diamant et plein d'autres trucs. Si on va voir Q-Ball. Salut, t'aurais pas des diamants pour moi, s'il te plaît, mec? Ah, sache, liste des points forts d'Emmet.
Hopefully, once I finish breaking up Emmett and Edna, this paper will return.
Mais ça aurait été trop bien en fait que genre le journal il change au fur et à mesure. Bon, apparemment la fourrure et machin ce sera plus tard. Bon bah comment tu t'en sors, Doc?
Ah, good. You're back. Give me the full report.
She says she likes you because you've got a virtuous mind, you look good in a suit, and you're completely faithful to her.
Damn, she's got me dead to rights. Well,
Ah, y a
have to
pire.
find a way to change her mind. I'll be here if you need any help. Do you need any help?
Oui. Je serai là si vous avez besoin d'aide. Vous avez besoin d'aide? Oui.
Figured out what's wrong with the time circuits?
Not sure. Possibly. It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double checking to make sure. All the basic
tant mieux.
equipment appears to be functional.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well, I don't know. The time circuits.
Listen, I promise I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving unpredictably. Tell you what,
Ouais.
I'll take it on a test drive 1 minute into the past. If it passes the test, I'll let you borrow it.
Devant Trixie, hein. Devant Trixie.
Hey, it worked. Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. In fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the time lag wasn't entirely away.
Ah.
I stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for a chronometric analyzer.
A what?
A diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data.
Ah oui, c'est en scénarium.
Problem.
Elle trouve automatiquement le problème pour le réparer.
Drive any exhibits off the
Looks like you'll have to find another set of wheels if you want to get to the lab.
Dommage. Bon. Ah, au moins, on a un stand ouvert. On va y aller tout de suite. Hein. Doc a pas l'air d'avoir beaucoup de choses à nous apprendre. Le train du futur. Qui est un skateboard. Bon.
My
Bah voilà.
future wouldn't be built so
Voilà.
shoddily.
Hi, Miss Strickland. I was just...
Break what you like, Mr. Corleone. It's no skin off my nose. Just keep away from Emmett's booth. Speaking of whom, I better go see what's keeping him.
You should stay here.
What?
I mean, you want to deal with that situation at the registration booth.
Oh, that. We finally found that form. It was in my purse.
But
Tut, tut. Not another word. I've got the rest of the day all mapped out.
Miss Strickland!
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Heavens, you shaved off your hair, but Carl Sagan?
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
I'm not sure it would be seemly for me to be seen in the company of an alleged arsonist.
I think it may be in your best interest. You see,
Qu'est-ce que tu
Let's
lui
go somewhere
apprends?
where we can talk privately.
go. I'll keep her occupied till you get back.
J'ai un mauvais pressentiment. Ça va mal finir. Ça va mal finir cette histoire. Bon, allez hop, train skateboard.
hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup.
Allez.
Emmett?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Detective? What the hell is Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I
Ah,
assure
c'est
you.
Kid, pas
I was
Bill,
just
c'est
getting a
Kid.
mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby is just as good. Okay, let's see now what's next. Check the stew, sort the maps. Ooh, I almost forgot that.
Edna really is cracking the whip, isn't she?
Eh bah dis donc, putain, et...
Yes, but she's got my best interests at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. You're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features.
Oh là, on se prend également des mines en plus, c'est génial.
No thanks are necessary.
Merci.
Without you, I'd never be where I am now. In love with a woman of my dreams. And a mere 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours? Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time!
Bon. Alors, je voudrais juste regarder... Elle n'est certaine qu'à la relation des maîtres ferait de lui un bon citoyen modèle. Non mais ce que je voulais, c'était ça.
I still got some work to do.
Alors, suit, faithfulness et model citizen. Alors, suit, ça veut dire costume. Faithfulness, c'est la dévotion. Et model citizen, c'est citoyen modèle. Donc, faut qu'on nique son... D'accord. Faut qu'on nique son costume. Qu'on montre qu'il pourrait tromper Edna, mais ça c'est Trixie qui s'en occupe. Et il faut qu'on fasse, j'imagine, une carte mentale de ça. Citoyen modèle.
If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I better replace it with another one. The mind of a degenerate criminal.
That's Kid Tannen's mind map, as captured by our mind map helmet.
You could tell he's a criminal just by looking at this?
No, but when it's fed into the mental alignment meter...
Ah, fais voir.
Weird.
Weird nothing. It's science.
Ouais, je suis pas convaincu. Pourquoi? Ah! Pile de cartes mentales. Alors
What's
attendez.
this?
The mind map cards from the dozens of subjects I've tested during the last few weeks. I've got to get them sorted before the expo begins.
Why?
Edna's got this grand scheme to catalog all of Hill Valley City.
Ouais, ouais, c'est très glauque.
Isn't that cute?
Très très glauque.
Really?
Machine
How does the
curieuse.
mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Hey,
The test subject wears this mind mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
uh-huh.
Ouais.
I turn on the mind mapping helmet with this radio switch. The subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that?
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
D'accord. Et du coup?
All I see is a bunch of holes.
Well, to you, maybe. But to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious.
Alors attention.
Observe as I place
Marty
your
McFly
mind map
is...
into the MAM.
C'est un...
Layabout.
Un
Is that
fainéant.
machine calling me a slacker?
No, your own physiological responses did.
Ok. Yeah. Y a pas moyen de...
Phew.
Ugh, did the clamp fall off again?
Yeah.
Put it back on. Oh, I don't even know why I keep that bacteria tank around. Every time the clamp falls off the nitrogen tube, it takes a couple of minutes before I can get the stench out of the air. Whew.
Oh, je sais. Oh, je sais. Regardez. On appuie sur le bouton.
Nothing happened.
Well, that button advances the slides during the mind mapping test. It
Merde.
only works while the test is running.
Non, mais... Écoutez... Faut lancer la machine. Tourne-disque.
I don't care by Trixie Trotter.
Oh, mais TG.
Approve of that sort of music, but I find it very soothing. Oh.
D'accord, on trouve plein de trucs qui lui donnent... Ok. Il fait que des tours de table, c'est une horreur.
Typewriter do again.
During a mental
Il fait la
alignment
carte.
test, it takes messages from the mind map helmet and turns them into punch cards, like the one for Mr. Tannen over there.
Seems complicated.
Actually, it was all rather easy to put together once Edna gave me the idea.
Sounds to me like you should be working on harder
Hmm.
problems then.
What? Sorry, I've got to get back to work.
Je ne suis pas convaincu, mec.
I'd be careful of that if I were you.
Why?
The rocket fuel experiment must have stripped one of the teeth in the hand crank. As a consequence, if you turn it for more than 10 seconds, it... Ow! Sends out an electric shock.
Oh. Et bah parfait. Alors je me rappelle plus comment il commence justement. Pris quoi? Bouton de...
So this machine takes those little cards and tells you whether or not someone's a good guy
Comment on
or a
fait?
bad guy?
Kind of. Actually, the helmet does all the work. The mental alignment meter is just a glorified arcade machine.
So why not just go with the cards?
Edna says that people respond well to flashing lights and snap judgments. I can't argue with that. Every time I kiss her, I see flashing lights and lose all sense of judgment.
Oh.
No kidding.
Il veut pas me réexpliquer. Si Matt a fait une carte mentale de lui-même, peut-être qu'elle montrera qu'il n'est pas le système modèle qui est. On émet peut-être sa propre carte mentale. Mais on le voit. Elle est là. Regarde. Elle est là. Regardez. Emmett.
Hey, Emmett, got a sec?
Why, yes. In fact, I've got several.
Et en plus, il me le demande pas.
You look busy. Why don't we talk later?
Sure thing.
Attends, tu voulais pas me... Non. Casque de lecture mentale. Je veux bien le casque. Non, du coup. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Un chevalet.
What's this?
It's the placard we'll be putting in front of our booth at the expo.
The
Eh bah
scientist
dis
that
donc.
caught Kid Tannen?
A small exaggeration, but Edna says it'll attract investors. What do you think of the picture?
C'est pas super.
You look a little
constipé. Ouais, avec un énorme balai.
Edna said I looked intense.
Intense.
Yeah, intensely focused on taking it.
The picture. I'll have to find a better one. Unfortunately, there's a lot to choose from.
Ah bah parfait.
Heavy.
Extremely. Mother has been rather obsessive about photographically cataloging my life.
Et bah c'est parfait. On s'en met pas, mais c'est parfait. Le ragoût.
Damn it. What's cooking?
That's an old Brown family recipe for Hassenpfeffer.
Hassenpfeffer.
Rabbit stew. The trick is to add the cumin an hour after the carrots. Take a whiff. Isn't that just about the best thing you've ever smelled in your life?
It's
Ragoût, c'est pas ouf.
powerful, yeah.
I've got it on a slow boil for later.
Donc ça lui fait plaisir. C'est un homme simple. Bidon d'huile. Bah, on va jouer avec l'huile un peu.
That's a can of used motor oil, rocket fuel waste, and assorted chemical sludge left over from my abandoned rocket car.
Gross.
Accounting doesn't enter into it, but it is disgusting. Would you mind disposing of it on your way out?
Sure.
Ok, c'est avec ça qu'on va le salir. Soupape, non. Allez, on va voir Emmett, salut.
Emmett?
Yeah?
Nous pour la présentation expose, et ça en 2 mois, c'est quoi ces nouveaux habits?
You get back
Ça
to
m'aide
work.
pas.
We'll catch up later.
Thanks.
Ça ne m'aide pas. On va prendre une bonne photo.
I've got an idea.
What?
Why don't I take your photo album over to Edna so she can pick out your new picture?
That's a great idea. She's got a better eye for these things than I do anyway. Thanks, pal.
Don't mention it.
Parfait. Mais le problème, c'est que je ne sais pas comment commencer. Ah, Edna semble très impressionnée par le nouveau look classe d'Emmett. Salut-le. Il doit y avoir quelque chose à portée de main pour le salir. Ouais, mais...
Hey, Emmett, I've got a... Whoa! Whoops.
Yes!
What the heck?
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. Your suit's ruined. Edna's gonna be royally PO'd.
Wrong.
What?
When Edna gave me this suit, I realized that the probability of me keeping it clean was infinitesimally remote. So I spent a few hours whipping up this.
Whoa.
Putain.
What was that?
A chemical compound capable of wiping the grime off any surface.
Bon, après, il est pas vraiment blanc non plus. Hein.
Fortune.
Not anytime soon, I'm afraid. Due to an inherent instability in its molecular makeup, after 12 hours, the cleanser's component chemicals break down into a series of cloth-shredding enzymes, rendering it unsuitable for commercial use.
Wait a minute. Does that mean your suit's
Bah oui.
dissolve in 12 hours?
Hey, gods, no. The solution dissipates into the air after it's applied. But it does mean that after this batch of cleanser ages another 11 hours and 53 minutes, it would eat away this suit faster than 1,000 starving moths. And that would be a crisis of unimaginable proportions.
Il faudrait faire vieillir ce machin.
Because this suit belongs to Edna's grandfather, who wore it on his wedding day. Poor guy was gunned down just a few years later.
Emmett?
Well, enough wool gathering. Back to
Du
work.
coup, faut faire vieillir le machin. N'a aucun sens.
I don't want to get that covered in any messy oil.
Bah si. Mais non, mais lâche ton huile. Lâche, lâche. Bah ça fonctionne. Bah c'était ça qu'il fallait faire. Du coup, Edna, je touche à la soupape. La soupape, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît. La soupape.
Ew.
Oh.
Bien. Je sais pas qui c'est. Who is that guy? C'est qui? Photo de...
I know that. That's John Wilkes Booth, the guy that shot
Mec qui a tiré sur
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
So, I guess he's
Ah!
supposed to be a negative
Mais
figure.
comment je suis censé le deviner? Bah du coup, il faut que ce soit positif. On va mettre un peu de ragoût.
Ah, that smells much better.
Il y a encore un peu de ragoût.
Careful, don't let all the flavor escape.
On peut continuer. C'est tout? Quoi, c'était ça? Ah non, c'est deux boutons de... Mais non! Alors, la soupape.
Ew.
Allez. Bouton de défilement. Allez. Tac. La marmite de ragoût. Qui sert uniquement pour faire en sorte que l'odeur soit plus respirable.
Ah,
Mais je crois que je vais jouer uniquement sur le ragoût et...
that smells good.
Je vais jouer, ouais, je pense que je vais jouer là-dessus. Je vais jouer sur le ragoût et...
Model citizen, huh?
Derrière. Officier par cœur. Alors maintenant la soupape.
Ew.
Ça pue de ouf, ouais. Encore une fois.
Ew.
Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Et un pour les polices. Qui est cet homme? Mais qui est cet homme? Ça dure 6 plombes en plus. Photo d'un tannen. Ah.
I don't know who that is, but he's clearly a tannin, so I guess he's a negative figure.
Eh ben un peu de ragoût. Allez, mange du ragoût, c'est bien pour toi. Eh ben mes chats se rentrent dedans dans la porte, c'est génial. Ils jouent à Destruction Derby mais en étant des chats, si ça c'est pas beau.
That smells good.
Oh bah oui, hein. Au bon goût de trahison. C'est quoi, c'est un enfant? C'est un enfant malade. Tuez-le! Un enfant a l'air innocent. Bah, soupape, hein.
Ew.
Ah, ouais, ça passe de... Ça sent bon à ça sent la mort. Mais Emmett, il se dit pas, attends, c'est bizarre, la soupape, elle tombe toutes les 5 secondes. Allez, on va peut-être s'en sortir maintenant. Et un pour les enfants. Qui est-ce? Oh, ça sent l'actrice porno ou un truc comme ça. Hein. Vu la réaction de Marty, on avait bien compris.
Trixie. I don't think Edna approves
Ah, c'est
of her,
Trixie.
so I guess she's a negative figure.
C'est Trixie.
Ah,
Je l'ai pas reconnu. Le ragoût il va être froid à force de faire ça tout le temps. Il y a un trick aussi. Hein. Ah, c'est bon. Emmett Brown. Voilà.
Hey, Emmett, I think your mind map test is broken.
Oh, well, that switch just keeps shorting out on me. No time to fix it now. I'll have to take care of it at the expo.
Looks like I'm not going to be doing any more mind maps. I guess I'll test this out and hope for the best.
Ça devrait être bon.
Swapping out Emmett's mind map with a crappier one is a great idea, but I should probably scan it with a mental alignment.
Oui, mais c'est bon, on a compris. T'as mis, moi j'aime bien, à Trixie, à tout. Criminel dégénéré.
Now Emmett's mind map is as bad as Tannen's. Now all I have to do is swap this out with Emmett's original mind map and
Bah du coup, sa faithfulness, du coup elle est niquée. Le suit, faut encore trouver un moyen, mais on est en plutôt bonne voie.
Okay, Emmett, get ready to meet the new you.
Hey,
What?
I almost left behind my mind map card. We're gonna show it off at the expo as a rare example of a model's.
Il a fait la peur de ma vie.
Kill me if I forgot that.
She might kill you anyway when she gets a look at that mind map. Once Emmett gets to the expo, I'll try to figure out how to get him to put his card in the mental alignment meter. But for now, I better concentrate on making Emmett a slob who cheats on his girlfriend.
Ouais, bon ça c'est le planning de la semaine prochaine. Merci beaucoup les amis d'avoir suivi cet épisode de Retour vers le futur. N'hésitez pas à liker, commenter, partager. Vous abonnez à la chaîne et à me rejoindre sur mes réseaux sociaux qui sont dans la description. Je vous fais des très gros bisous. À la semaine prochaine. Salut.
Salut, à demain, si on veut bien.